Hey guys, how many of you are very particular when it comes to your airsoft gear bag? There's nothing more important than being ready for your day at airsoft. And the more airsoft you play, the more you start to realize just how much stuff you need to be fully prepared. I want to quickly go through my gear bag with you guys, like for real this time. I made a video about what was in my gear bag a long time ago, but that was definitely not it. Yeah. Alright, well, first up, my gear bag holds my airsoft gun, of course. The bag I have here is actually capable of holding 2 primaries, but I've got it stuffed with other things, so that's pretty hard to fit nowadays. Second, my BBs, of course. I've got my primaries BBs, as well as a bottle of 2.8s for my pistol, and a bottle of .2s for my grenade. These all fit snugly together in the front of my bag and is usually why the damn thing is so heavy all the time. Underneath my gun is my cleaning rod. I don't use this really, like, ever at the field, but not having one can really be a problem if you get dirt in your barrel, or anywhere for that matter. I'd also suggest keeping a little baggie or ziploc of microfiber cloth somewhere nearby and some scissors if you need to cut a fresh little piece to clean your inner barrel. Paper towel can scratch the inner barrel and cause problems, so it's best to have a little stash of microfiber that'll last you a while for those desperate moments when you can't wait to get home and just use hot water. Another important item here, zap straps, or zip ties, whatever you want to call them. You can never have enough of these. If you're having any sort of wardrobe malfunction with your chest rig or molly attachments, zap straps have your back. These really come in handy, especially for me in the event that any of my camera battery holders break. I can just zap strap batteries to my gun, and yeah, these are pretty much a must-have for emergencies. And also war prisoners. I also pack flush cutters in my gear bag, specifically for the zap straps. These are good to have. If you cut your zap straps poorly, you can risk cutting yourself on a sharp edge. Flush cutters are like $3 and remove that risk. I've also got this really long Phillips head screwdriver in my bag. If you're familiar with the M4 platform, most have a Phillips head screw in the buffer tube connecting your stock to the gearbox. Without one of these tools, you can't really take your gun apart at the field and you'll find yourself driving home or asking random people for tools. Speaking of tools, Allen keys. Let me tell you something. Ever since I started playing Airsoft, I have never possessed such a massive dragon pile of Allen keys such as this. This is almost every Allen key from every attachment or thingy I've bought and used mostly for Airsoft. I've got every size, but it's definitely not organized, like, at all. This is pretty painful to look at for some of you, but I don't mind it. I've got everything random in here as well, so we're talking random size screws, springs, spare buckings and nubs. You just never know. Usually when people walk up to me and ask for help fixing their airsoft gun, the solution is found somewhere inside this box. I don't go to the field without this. Also, just in case, I keep a multi-tool inside my gear bag as well. It's got all the heads you can imagine, just in case. Better to bring one tool with all the heads available than 20 that serve just one purpose each. Alright, moving on. I have this little baggie of connectable keychain wire, just in case I need to loop something specific or attach something when zap straps won't cut it. This might come in handy just in case, let's say, a buckle or something snaps off. I have a way of attaching something. These guys are just a little more delicate than cinching down with the zap strap, and I kinda like that. I also keep this little spray bottle of soap water in my gear bag. If you leave a layer of soap water on the inside of your goggles for about a minute and then wipe it dry, it helps fight fogging. Give it a try. You might save yourself some money on anti-fog. And of course, then there's some of that YouTuber stuff. Spare batteries and SD cards for my GoPros and scope camera. I've also got some spare wires in here to charge with. I run everything off battery banks, but again, it just feels better to bring this stuff with me during emergencies. And that's sort of it. Everything else like my mags or radio, I keep attached to my chest rig. I keep my sidearm in a hard shell container and spare CO2 canisters in a container in the trunk of my car. If you're wondering, this is the 36-inch Condor padded double rifle gear bag. Pretty sure I'm due for a new bag since I only ever put one in here, but hey, it gets the job done. So yeah, that's what's actually in my gear bag. I'm curious to know what you guys keep in your gear bags. Anything you wouldn't leave the house without? If you got some advice on what to pack, or maybe just what works for you to feel the most prepared, share it in the comments. I'm looking to up my gear bag game pretty soon here, so even I'd appreciate some advice. Alright, thanks guys. I'll see you next time.